All right, it is December 16th. We are getting close to Christmas. It's time for another version of Toothbrush Talk. Get your toothbrush ready. Ready to get those teeth nice and white. And today we are in the week of love from the perspective of Joseph. Let's go. Love is doing right by someone even when it's hard. I'll say that again. Love is doing right by someone even when it's hard. When I think back to when I was in high school, there were so many friends that I dropped, or so many people that I didn't take the time to get to know because I didn't want to put the hard work in of actually getting to know them. Or I didn't want to put the hard work in of having to resolve a conflict or a difference of opinion because that was just way too difficult. I look back and realize that I ruined friendships because I focused more on what I wanted rather than maybe what they needed. And I think I needed a lesson from Joseph on how to love well, even when it's hard. Okay, let's be real. I still need lessons from Joseph on how to love even when it's hard. So when Joseph found out that Mary was pregnant, and not with his child, by the way, he decided that he was going to break off their engagement quietly. And you might be thinking, Joseph is going to push Mary to the side. How is that love? Let me tell you, the fact that he was going to do it quietly speaks volumes. It speaks about how much he loved her. Because what he could have done was gone around town saying, Mary's pregnant, she cheated on me, she had an affair, like woe is me, she hurt me, everyone pity me, and keep my reputation up, but Mary, you're going down in the dumps. Mary would have been shamed by everybody. Nobody would have wanted to be her friend. They would have looked down upon her and looked at her as if like, oh, she's the one who cheated on Joseph, even though she didn't. But Joseph didn't do any of that. He didn't go around town yelling it from the streets. Instead, he decided to do it quietly because doing it quietly would have allowed Mary to keep her reputation. Mary could have lived a good life. She could have gone forward, though it still would have been difficult, but she could have gone forward without this big reputation and this big story that Joseph would have spun and told the entire world. So he was protecting Mary's reputation and her heart, which says to me that he loved her a lot. He wasn't going to try and raise up his reputation and bring her down, but rather he was going to allow her to still live her life and have a good place. He wanted to do what was right by Mary because he loved her, but also because of love. When God sent an angel to tell Joseph, hey, Joseph, I need you to stay with Mary and I want you to be the father to my son named Jesus. Joseph stayed. And yeah, it was going to make his life complicated, super complicated, but because of love for Mary, but also because of love for God, he stayed and he married Mary, and he was going to be the father to Jesus, who's God's son. He was going to love even when it was going to be difficult. So think about this question. What are some things that cause us to want to walk away from relationships so quickly instead of actually leaning in and loving?